The first week of the high school playoffs is upon us, and we have several key playoff games to talk about. All this coming up now on the Gridiron Central Preview Show. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jim Alred. Normally, I'm joined by Matt Davis, but Matt Davis is off today, so you won't have his smiling face, and he's probably a lot nicer than I am, so you're stuck with mean old me. Several playoff games. All these games are key games. Several big playoff games to talk about. We start off Model on the road at Bowden. The Model Blue Devils ended up earning the number 3 seed out of Region 7AA. Bowden got the number 2 seed out of their region. It's the Blue Devils versus the Red Devils. Look. You know, when I look at this matchup, the key thing I think about here is I'm not as worried about Bowden. With Model, what I look at with them is their defense has been very good this year. You know, I mean, the only game recently where their defense allowed a lot of points was against Calhoun. Everybody allows a lot of points against Calhoun. Other than that, Model's average giving up just a couple of touchdowns or less to most teams. If Model's defense can play like they have been playing and hold Bowden to 10 to 14 points, I think the Blue Devils will be okay. The key for me for Model, you need to complete some passes early. If the Blue Devils can get a little bit of that passing game going, loosen up Bowden's defense, establish the run, Model can win this game. It is at Bowden. Bowden's a pretty good football team. Hard place to play. Model's going there on the road. They're the number 3 seed versus the number 2 seed. I'm actually going to pick against Model. Rejoice, Model fans. I'm picking against you again. Remember, I picked you for it to beat Dade County last week. And I jinxed you. Not going to jinx you this week. I'm going to go with Bowden in this one, but it would not surprise me at all for Model to win this game. I think Model can win this game. I think it'll be a very interesting game at Bowden. Another Region 7AA team in the playoffs, Pepperell traveling to play Heard County. The Dragons have won 2 or 3 straight games. Covering them last week against Armurchie and just watching Pepperell play is the offense has gotten better. The defense has gotten better. The special teams have gotten better. Pepperell's really starting to come into their own here late in the season. They knew 2 or 3 weeks ago they had to win out. They have done that. Yes, they are a number 4 seed, but they're not an easy number 4 seed. They are not an easy out of the playoffs by any stretch of the imagination. Looking at this game, you know, Pepperell's defense is going to have to slow down Heard County. Heard County has been able to score a decent amount of points. If they can do that, play ball control, the Dragons have a chance to win this game. Obviously, it's a number 4 seed at a number 1 seed. Heard County is not going to be an easy place to play. I'm going to pick Heard County in this game. I am picking against the Dragons, but, you know, hey, you know how many times I've been wrong this season already. Pepperell's had a very good late half of the season. I think this is going to be a very competitive football game. Moving up to AAA right now, Adairsville traveling to play White County. The Tigers, the number 3 seed out of Region 5 AAA, against White County, the number 2 seed out of their region. You know, this is going to be a long road trip for Adairsville. You know, looking at it, the Tigers, the defense hasn't been quite as good as we were hoping for this year. Offense is good. Special teams is good. You know, this is a very interesting matchup to me in that I think Adairsville has a pretty decent chance to win this game. I think the Tigers are good enough to win this game. Adairsville a couple years ago had a road playoff victory. They know how to win on the road. And I'm actually going to go with the Tigers in this one. I believe Adairsville will beat White County. Back to the AA, Manchester at Calhoun. Look, you don't pick against Calhoun at home in the AA playoffs. It's been 5-6 years since the last time Calhoun lost a home game in the playoffs. You know, Manchester's a number 4 seed out of Region 5. Calhoun, of course, won their 13th straight region title this year. They've won 100 straight region games. You look at the Yellow Jackets. No, the offense is not as good as we're used to seeing. However, I think their defense is better. Special teams is good. Calhoun should win, probably win big, setting up a very big game next week, more than likely against Greater Atlanta Christian. Crazily enough, the last team to beat Calhoun at home in the playoffs. Sonoraville at Buford, back to AAA. The Phoenix the Phoenix get in as a number 4 seed out of Region 5 AAA. It's great that Sonoraville gets to the playoffs. A couple years ago, they were in the region play-in game out of 7AA, did not win and missed the playoffs. This year, they much better season than last year. I think they only had 1 win last year, 4 or 5 wins this year. Phoenix are a much improved team. They're a young team. They're getting better. But you're playing Buford, and I don't have to tell our viewers about Buford. We know all about them. The Wolves are quite good, defending AAA state champions. These guys don't lose very often, and I'm afraid at Buford, Sonoraville it could be a long night, but kudos to the Phoenix for getting to the playoffs this year. Staying in AAA, North Hall at Ringgold. Ringgold, the number 2 seed out of Region 5 AAA. Against North Hall. North Hall is not a bad little team. I think Ringgold is better. I see Ringgold winning this playoff game, going to the second round. West Hall at Cartersville, staying in AAA. Cartersville is probably the second best team in AAA. Look, West Hall is going to have a long night. Cartersville is going to win big. Toughest part for Cartersville when you look at their bracket is that on down the road, if they can get on down the road, they would match up with Buford in the semis, much like last year. Of course, they've got to get there first, but that will be a tough matchup later on for the Purple Hurricanes. Moving to Class 4A now. Cedartown is at Sandy Creek, and much like the Phoenix's, Sonoraville's draw, Cedartown did not get anything easy here. Look, Sandy Creek's the defending Class 4A state champions. I was at the Dome last year when Sandy Creek decimated Ridgeland. Cedartown is 9-1 on the season. They ended up with the number 4 seed out of the region. Yeah, awfully tough. Nick Chubb has had a phenomenal year, over 2,600 yards rushing so far. Sandy Creek knows they got to stop Nick Chubb. Sandy Creek has a team capable of limiting Nick Chubb. I don't know if they can stop him, but they can limit him. Sandy Creek's offense is very good. I hope that Cedartown can keep it close, but I'm afraid in this game that Sandy Creek is just too good a football team. Cedartown had a great year, but when you're running up against the defending champions, nationally ranked Sandy Creek, at their place is never an easy win. Those are the games that we're going to have this week. The Class A power rankings and brackets have now been finalized. They were finalized Wednesday afternoon. I can tell you what is happening next Friday, not this Friday, but the next. Class A gets a bye week, the first week. Darlington will play host to Christian Heritage. Darlington got the number 8 seed in the private school brackets. They will play Christian Heritage. This is a rematch of a game earlier this season. Darlington trailed late in the game, scored a couple touchdowns late to end up winning. Christian Heritage is the number 9 seed. Darlington is the number 8 seed. If Darlington were to win this game, the next week they will be playing probably Eagles Landing Christian Academy, the number 1 ranked team. Tryon sneaks in as well in the public school brackets. They are the number 13 seed. They will travel to play Irwin County next Friday. Of course, last year Tryon had a high seed, or a low seed in this case, and they made a run. They won a couple of games, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll talk a lot more about those games next week. I just wanted to let y'all know that was what was happening with those. Remember to come back to Prep Central on Friday night. We will have live scoring updates from our playoff games. Later in the evening, we'll have articles, photos, videos from some of the games. And of course, the Gridiron Central Scoreboard Show will bring it home. You'll find out who won, who lost, and why. Until then, for Kevin Myrick, I'm Jim Alred saying we'll see you on the sidelines.
Begin your future at Georgia Northwestern Technical College. We offer degrees, diplomas, and certificates in over 200 programs of study. Choose a career in business, health, industrial, or public service. With the flexibility of day, evening, and online classes at any of our 5 campus locations, getting your education at GNTC has never been more convenient. There are many financial aid options available, including student loans. Apply now. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Your college, your town, your future.